Well, we got a special treat today because on Sunset Boulevard in Echo Park, there's a street artist called Pete, and I've seen his van sitting out there. And today, we're going to go talk to him and see his art. And there you can see the back of his van, and he's a real artistic spirit, and he's selling art, and I think you're going to love it. Here's another shot of the back of his van, and he actually works in his van, and we can see him poking out. But we're going to meet Pete later. We're going to see his artwork first. But isn't that great? Look at that. It's just right out there. It's art in the street, and it's captivating. I've been seeing this van for 2 months, and I feel lucky that I finally get to meet him and we get to see the artwork because I love it already. And he does assembly artwork, combining stuff together. This is his piece on the left, Hollywood Gold with the character with the anaglyphoscope eyes. On the right, we see a little bit of the mural here that's along Sunset Boulevard. And he just sets his pieces up out here along the sidewalk, and they're just displayed for people to come by and see. And they're very whimsical and a lot of fun. This is a kind of a collage with some traditional artwork all stuck together and some drawings in the center, kind of pictographic. And you see the 3 little monkeys at the bottom. And I really like this one. He's just stuck a stuffed animal right there in the picture. And it's just a lot of fun and very whimsical. Here we'll get another view of it more. And here we have another view of the painting we just saw. Just put a stuffed animal right in the middle of it. Isn't that fun? It's a portrait of himself. It says me. Or maybe it's a portrait of me. I don't know. And here's a fun one with some walnuts in it and a rabbit fur and an octagonal frame, and it's kind of like a dream catcher of the future. Kind of like a collective dream catcher, and isn't that a lot of fun? A couple of portraits of Beethoven, it looks like, and Frida Kahlo, and Animal on the drums, and Sting, and we got a lot more here. And these are 2 real nice ones. I especially like he's taken a bicycle seat and he's made it into an animal head and using a box lid as a frame, and it's like a hunting trophy, robot hunting trophy, and it's just a lot of fun. And then on the right, he's taken a picture of a tree and superimposed some other things in there, and it's just really nice, a black and white photo of a eucalyptus tree, and it turned out really nice. And this one...
You know, a lot of men like that one. I've never come across a woman that's liked it yet.
Oh, that's funny. This one is gender specific, and the people that like it, men like this one apparently, and it's called Panting Bicycle Seat. The Panting Bicycle Seat, like a dog that's panting after it's been working out. And I do like that one. It's a lot of fun. And here we have a collection of some collages that are just kind of nice. It kind of looks like a skull in the right one, and there's a crown with a flower in the center. And he's just got a nice, casual, spontaneous style in his artwork. Very nice. And here we see some more of the collage work. And there are just so many here, it's hard to get everyone in individually. And I like the one that's kind of like a Chagall in the upper left-hand corner with the mustache, with the Dali mustache. Very nice. It's all nice. Here he's got the Bai, the inspirational Bai painting with a couple other collage works beside it.
By peace.
By peace. There you go. And we need more peace in the world. And coming out of the By peace, we can... is also a palm tree sticking up there. So very nice. And that leads us to all the other pieces.
The blind man, and we're going into the conflict without really knowing that we're going into the conflict. And it's the conflict is natural to always going to be. You know, something's always going to be the other thing. There's always going to be strength and weakness. There's always going to be the carnivore and the alligator eating the rabbit. Yeah, or sure, yeah, that could be an alligator. Yeah. or just the more powerful eating the weaker.
Right, a man-eat-dog world is what
Exactly. Well, yeah, in a sense, yeah.
And here we got two pieces, one with the cactus in it, covering the frame up, kind of obscuring what's mounted in there. And then we have a nativity scene with a no idea behind it. And we'll get a closer look at that. It's hard to capture all these really, but we're having fun anyway.
Contrast of the old story with kind of the agnostic, which he has no idea. I don't know.
Right.
So I put my religious beliefs are somewhat kind of back behind the nativity
certainty,
scene. The certainty, yeah. The Orthodox certainty, yeah.
Nice. I like nativity scenes too.
Which will come back into this. I kind of had that kind of where the nativity scene actually was before, where it's all about nothing, the power of nothing. And then I have my other religious one kind of.
Let's go look at those two. As a marine biologist, and he told me years ago, those holes are made by piddock clams.
Oh yeah?
And out in the ocean, these clams secrete a acidic juice that actually dissolves the rock, and they burrow into the rock.
Oh, so it's a rock when it's out there too. It's really hard when it's out there.
It's really hard when it's out there, and the clams burrow the holes into it to make themselves a little nest so they can hide in the rock. And you see these rocks like this, where there's a lot of clams and they can't find good areas to hide, so many of them hide out in the same rock.
Right.
And I always like those, and they're called piddock clams. And it's kind of fun, and those are special rocks.
Well, I like that rock.
Here we got the piece he was talking about, the power of nothing. It's all about nothing. And that's kind of nice.
Which is the my agnostic creed.
Right.
Strength in nothing. Strength in not knowing.
Exactly.
Freedom in not knowing.
It's difficult to exist with uncertainty, and most people want an answer even if it's not correct.
Yeah, but it's so beautiful if you can live with uncertainty. You know, it's like so freeing. You're like, oh man.
And a lot of the answers we'll never know anyway, so we have to accept that we just don't know. So
most of us don't accept that we don't know.
Right.
We live our whole life with that.
False certainty.
False certainty, yes. Yeah.
And in fact, they found recently that people that have orthodox, fundamentalist, or not fundamentalist, but really orthodox, fixed religious beliefs are more prone to getting Alzheimer's, and they show shrinkage.
I believe it.
Of the, I forget what it's called right now.
Whatever part of the brain
the hippocampus. It's the hippocampus that organizes your thoughts and memories while you're asleep. And in Alzheimer's, there's a shrinkage of the hippocampus, and in a lot of mental degeneracy, it shrinks. And it's correlated with a lot of things, but one thing it's correlated with, they just found recently, is people that have this certainty of belief, because the hippocampus is what you use to learn.
Right.
And if you think you know everything, you're not learning anything new.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get used, and that's kind of nice.
Well, you're not using the techniques that you need to, that your brain needs to, the steps that it needs to take in order to learn.
Right.
You're denying those things. You're saying, no, I know, and you're not allowing your brain to think step by step, which it needs in order to be healthy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right about the using that same style of Andy Warhol, and it's the €100 piece, and the euro just did a piece of Andy Warhol, and so that's what basically that is.
Oh, okay.
And on the back, in the writing on the back, it says art is money on it, and then I put some, like somebody who goes and scribbles onto the images. I scribbled some fake glasses and a fake mustache on them.
Like that, wasn't that Marcel Duchamp did that to the Mona
yes,
Lisa?
I'm a big fan of DADA, and would consider my art style to be the art style that I'm practicing now to be Neo-New Dada.
Neo-Dada. Very nice. You can only get these two in here. And the one is kind of a face facing both ways that kind of looks like a figure coming out of a cup or something. Kind of sparse and figurative, one object. And the other one is a bunch of people on bicycles against a blue background that for some reason reminds me of the cover of Sgt. Pepper's. And it's very happy with a lot of bright colors in it, and people multiplied all over the place. And here we got a nice collage piece that's kind of a combination of a bunch of things. It almost looks like something reminds me of a ship on the bottom with these towers coming out of the ship. And then above it is this frame with a plastic lion in front of some houses, and it's like the whole world is right at your door. You just have to go out and find it. But it's hard to say. You could look at that one for a long time and continue to find things in it. I like this one. I actually saw this one from my car, and this is what made me realize I would like his stuff. It's got the grill of a fan. Looks like a exhaust fan just built into the frame. And there's a picture of a guy hiking and a bunch of things in there. But I like the way he incorporates ordinary household objects right into the artwork, and he elevates the ordinary things that we totally ignore all the time to the status of artwork. And this one I saw from the road driving by, and I thought, boy, I don't do art as good as he does. And on the right-hand side, it's like a picture of the ocean with the little cross above it. And on the left-hand side, we see what looks like a sea monster coming out of the ocean. And there's the hand with the eyeball in it on the far left, and the center is Justice is blind almost, and it's a really nice collage with the flowers, and there's a little honeybee character, and there you see the primal men down at the bottom. He's done a really nice job with this, just putting all the elements together. Okay, we'll actually turn it on this time. It's got a nice tray here. It looks like a TV tray or something with just a generic pattern, but he's used the frame of a globe as a circular frame in the center. It's kind of like orienting yourself, and then he's got a window cut through there with some collage work in the window, and it's like orienting yourself to the world. And I like the way he elevates these ordinary objects to artwork. Very nice. And here's a nice view from the other direction of all his artwork as it's just sitting out on the side of the sidewalk. And he's got a great location against this rock wall, and it's always in the shade, and it's very nice. And here we got an arrow with some LEDs at the bottom. I'd love to see those LED counters actually counting. And he's turned the arrow into kind of a bird character pointing up and flying upwards, flying to the sun, almost like Icarus flying to the sun. And he almost has the mouth open like, oh no. But again, it's very whimsical and a lot of fun. And all the pieces are really reasonable, $20 to $60 handmade for a genuine original neo-DADA artwork. And we love it. Now, if we're lucky, we'll get to talk to the artist himself. And here's a view of all the artwork that we can see just put up by the side of the road on this side of this rock here. And this is how it's all laid out, and it's kind of nice. It really captures your eye. And if you're driving down Sunset some weekend in Echo Park, you should stop and take a look at his work, because it's really nice. And here's one I like on the back. It's got the Uncle Sam hat in it, and it's in an octagonal frame, and he's made a face out of those little metal flowers, and it just kind of captivates the happiness and joy and spontaneous fun of a lot of his artwork.
I kind of like the vibe that I got. I kind of like the responses I got. And I just decided I'm going to continue to do it after Christmas.
Nice.
And it's been pretty good.
Good, because I saw you about 2 months ago and really captured my eye, and I wanted to stop by. Now, how long have you been doing this style of artwork?
This style is, I'd say, 25 years. photographs.
Oh, nice, nice. Very good. And is there anything else you can tell us about your artwork or about your message or anything that you'd like people to know?
I would say that you did a pretty good job of videoing or photographing my artwork, and that I kind of like to keep my ideas about it a little bit stepped away. If they can see it, then they can kind of make their own ideas or have their own thoughts.
See what they think on their own without you pre-prejudicing them.
Exactly, and going from there, yeah.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you, Pete, and we hope to see you again sometime.
All right.
And here we have on top of his van, Van Gogh, an homage to Vincent that I didn't even notice until he said it. But again, it's just fun and whimsical. And stop by Sunset Boulevard sometime in Echo Park and take a look at what new artwork he has.